And I'm pleased to be joined now on the anchor desk by Miranda Kahn. And for more on this story, joining us via Skype from Connecticut, political analyst Dick Morris. Dick, as always, thanks for your time here on Newsmax Prime. And we just heard from Daniel Webster. What is your take on his candidacy for the speakership?
Well, first, let me disclose he's a former client, and I like him a great deal. When he ran against Alan Grayson, who was a trial lawyer who had quadrillions of dollars, I described the race as the devil versus Daniel Webster, I think from Hawthorne. But Webster's a very good man, and what the powers that be in Washington need to understand is that you have to have a conservative speaker. If you have a liberal or a moderate speaker like Boehner or like Kevin McCarthy, the conservatives are never going to believe that he got the best deal possible. He'll go into the negotiations, he'll come out with half a loaf, he'll say this is the best I could do, and they won't believe him. But if one of their own goes into Obama and negotiates and comes back with half a loaf, then the Republicans are going to say, okay, that was the best we can do, we sent our best guy in there, and we'll honor that. So the only way to avoid this perpetual deadlock and crisis atmosphere is to elect a true believer as the speaker. You have an odd situation now where the Republicans have the majority because the conservatives won the election of 2010 and 2014. But the establishment Republicans, who are the ones who got the committee chairmanships and the leadership positions because of the majority, don't like the congressmen that gave them the majority and are trying to diss them and keep them out of any role of power. And that's what's really going on now in Washington.
Dick, Kevin McCarthy of California, who has worked under Boehner, announced his candidacy as well. A lot of people believe he's a shoo-in for the job. But will his association with Boehner actually hurt him among the House?
Yeah, I mean, he can win the speakership because he'll have a majority of his caucus. But a majority, an overwhelming majority, of the new people in his caucus, the conservatives who got elected to Congress, who are the reason that he's able to be speaker, will be against him. So it's a Pyrrhic victory. And when he then comes to the Republican caucus and says, follow me, you elected me, the people that don't want to follow him are the people that voted against him. And it's so ridiculous to be nominating someone who can't really lead this caucus simply because you can piece together a mathematical majority.
And mindful of that, the House can be an insular institution, even though ostensibly members are supposed to listen to their constituents. We understand that there's a movement afoot to call a special conference. In fact, I believe one has been scheduled to try and thwart, in essence, a snap election that McCarthy wants. Do you believe the House Republicans will slow down and listen to their conservative constituents? About a minute remains, Dick.
I doubt it. I think they want McCarthy in power because they'll share in the goodies. And there's only one way to teach these guys a lesson, and that's to beat them in primary fights. I hope up and down the people that support McCarthy, who come from districts where there's a strong conservative movement, face primary fights and are defeated, just like Eric Cantor was. And you need a few more of those scalps on the wall before these idiots take you seriously.
Well, Dick, we want you to stay around because we can stand some more education, especially as we shift the scene to the presidential race. And speaking of that, as we all know, Dr. Ben Carson has been sharply criticized for saying a Muslim should never be president. But he has now released an urgent letter to the public on Newsmax.com. It's exclusive to us, and it's important you take the time to read it. If you go to Newsmax.com, it's at the top of the homepage of our website. And we ask you to read Dr. Carson's urgent letter about why he is taking a stand on this issue. So again, the way you can see this newsletter is to go to our parent website, Newsmax.com. And to hear more of our good friend Dick Morris, you don't have to go anywhere. Stay right here as we continue on Newsmax Prime.